Let's talk a little bit now. We talked about Charlotte. Let's talk about a little bit. I know your wife just loves the Lord.
Yeah.
On fire for God. And is involved in the women's ministry. Tell me a little bit about how she fits into the picture with the church and her ministry within the church.
So our relationship is actually, I think one day we'll write a book.
I encourage you to do that.
Yeah, we'll write a book one day. But I met her. She actually came out of an abusive relationship. And so when I met her, she was actually a single mom.
Okay.
She had our 2-year-old. Paige was 2 at the time, 1, almost 2. And she came actually to our church. I was preaching that day. And she rededicated her life to the Lord that day. I was sharing my testimony, which testimony, you guys love testimonies. So I was sharing my testimony. She rededicated her life. And then she, a couple months later, signed up to serve in youth ministry.
Yeah.
She became a leader of mine. And then I would say probably within the year, we became best friends. Our story is really interesting because I was raised by my father and my spiritual father that boundaries are extreme. I mean, when it comes to, I wouldn't be with the opposite sex alone, not with a student. If you text them, it's in a group text because there's protection in boundaries. And there was a significant, what I loved about Megan was when we were friends, there was a significant honor that she had for me as her pastor. And there was a significant, I mean, the servant's heart. If Pastor Tom was a lady, I mean, my wife's got the servant heart. I mean, she cares for people so deeply and beyond my wildest dream. I mean, she convicts me every day, makes me better every day. Because I'm like, why do you even care about that? But, so then, through the process, we became best friends, and there was, certain times after this amount of time, there's nothing like that. And so it was 2 years. 2 years we were best friends. I went to a trip in Florida because I believe God speaks more clear on the beach. And it's so true. I'm just telling you need to hear God's voice, go to the beach. I went to the beach and I was praying about who my wife was because I'd now been in ministry for 4 years, almost 5 years. And I wanted to be married, but I believed that who I was marrying is one of the most important decisions of your life, specifically in ministry. And the Lord revealed to me, Megan is your wife. I'm like, wow, okay, that's going to make things interesting. So I was a broke youth pastor at the time. I sold guitars. I sold all kinds of stuff. I mean, I sold clothes, guitars, ring, all kinds of watches that I had. And I came up with $1,000. And I went and bought a $5,000 ring, put $1,000 down, put it on a payment. And
you're romantic, brother.
Oh yeah. And 3 days later, I asked her dad for her hand in marriage. And then I asked her 3 days after that. So I heard from God. 7 days later, I asked her to marry me. Obviously, we say it all the time. Obviously, she said yes. She gets all this good stuff. So she said yes. 7 weeks later, we were married.
Praise God.
And so it's funny because I asked her to marry me, and we were best friends. I asked her to marry me. She said yes. And I said, now, wait a minute. You can't get all excited because I don't want to hold your hand. I don't want to kiss you. I want our first kiss to be when you're my wife. And so our first kiss, the first time we kissed, the first time we held hands was when we were husband and wife.
Yeah.
And so
that's beautiful. And so really that's, we could stop here and talk about that. But that is so unusual in today's world because most people, and I would say even Christian people would think, hey, we're not getting married for a few more months, but we're going to start having sex and all this. God's already told me you're going to be my wife, but y'all followed it all the way to the marriage night.
It was so good.
Yeah, wedding night. Cool.
I say it like this all the time. Powerful things come with instructions.
Yeah, they do.
And every powerful thing. I mean, everything that has power has an instruction manual.
And there's something about just being obedient.
Yeah.
Even in the small things like that, people would think, it doesn't really matter. But it does matter.
It does.
It's kind of like Saul. Saul had partial obedience.
Mm-hmm.
When he was supposed to go out, he spared the animals and all that. Well, I'm just making a sacrifice to God. No, you're not.
Right.
You didn't do what the Lord told you to do.
And,
the result of all that. But yeah.
And I genuinely, now my wife is the greatest gift God has ever given me.
Mm-hmm.
She loves people. I mean, more than it's healthy.
Yes.
And she's a powerhouse. She's a prayer. I mean, she's a lot like my mom when it comes to prayer.
Yeah.
She's a prayer warrior, but she's like a triple threat. Mm-hmm. I'm like I got like one threat. I'm a great communicator. It's about as far as, I got integrity. I got character. I'm deep. I got revelation, but it is, my wife's like, she'll love you. She'll feed you. She'll make sure you got what you need. She'll make sure that if she ain't got it to give you, she's going to go find out to get it, to give it to you. She's just incredible. She challenges me every day to just be better.